Hi, thank you for passing me on for stage to the selection for the casting for Welsh chefs. My name is Carmen Lee in Winnipeg here, showing you how to make my special homemade wonton soup. We have some ground pork in here. It's been seasoned with oyster sauce, dark and light soy sauce, sugar, and ground white pepper. We're gonna add our marinated shrimp in here. We have some ground white pepper and sesame oil as well. We have some egg in here for some binding purposes. And we have prepared some vegetables here. This is some water chestnut that I've chopped up. My mom's original recipe doesn't actually have the water chestnuts, but I like the crunch that it gives for the texture taste. And we have some baby bok choy prepped here. They usually come in pretty big leaves like this, but you chop it up with your knife, and then you squeeze out the water, make sure that the mixture doesn't get too runny. Throw that in there. And then we're gonna mix it up with, as you can see, I have 4 chopsticks here. Chopsticks is from my mom's instructions. Reason why we chopsticks, according to her, it helps aerate the meat and gives it that texture that you want. Keep in mind, this is also the same woman who told me to not wear socks at night because it's bad for your eyes. So we have our filling here and some pre-bought wonton wraps. You're gonna have a spoonful of your filling. You wanna make sure that you have a bite of shrimp in every bite. No one wants to get ripped off from these. As much as you wanna pack them in, you gotta make sure you don't have too much filling in there because when you try to close it up, it might bust through. So I've kind of wet 2 sides of the perimeter here. Give it a nice full, good little pinch on all the sides to make sure that when you boil them, they don't break apart. There are a few ways to wrap the wontons. I like this way because it maximizes the amount of filling I can put in each bite. Fold in the corners. Again, a good solid pinch. And then there you go. Making this dish brings back a lot of memories of the times when I was back in Vancouver before I moved to Winnipeg. Myself and 3 older sisters would sit around with my mom with a huge pot of filling, and to make time go by faster, we would try to make a race out of this, see if we could make the best wontons, the biggest wontons, without making a crack. Eventually we'd probably get kicked up by my mom because we are making a mess. It also allows us to connect with my family in Winnipeg. We started making gatherings maybe once or twice a year. We sit around for hours, chat, have a good laugh, and make special wontons ourselves in here. We're going to prepare the toppings for our wonton noodle soup. Now I have some rehydrated dried shiitake mushrooms I had prepared earlier this morning. Pour that in there, and we're gonna have some sauce with that. We're gonna add some oyster sauce, a little bit of dollop, a little bit of chili sauce for some extra kick, just a little spoonful. Let that sit there for half hour until you're done the wontons. They get happy in there. We're also going to prepare some bok choy here. We have some warmed up coconut oil. Get some garlic action happening. Give it a little smash. Chop it up. Watch your fingers. Give it a few minutes to warm up. While that's going, we'll prepare our Shanghai bok choy here. Chop off the tips. Kind of want bite-sized pieces because the wontons will be a delicate little treat. You see there's some sand in there and some soy, so you want to make sure you wash them. No one wants to eat dirt. We have some prepared from earlier today. Then you want to throw that in once the garlic is nice and sauteed. And then you should put a lid on it for a couple of minutes until it's nice and green. You can smell the bok choy flavor from that. So we're going to cook these little precious gems here now. The water will be in the rolling boil. Throw that in there. Make sure you have lots of water for the dumplings. I am cooking it in a separate pot from our broth because if you add it onto the broth, it might get too thick and not too appetizing. Over here we have our strained chicken broth that we made from our pressure cooker earlier today. We're going to throw our pre-bought noodles in through there and let it simmer and then soften up. We have the egg noodles out of the pot, and then we're going to move on to the wontons. We're going to bring it out of the pot as well. Make sure the water is not part of the dish. You'll put that in there and there. Add the bok choy on the perimeter of the dish here. Add some of the mushrooms. You know what? The wontons are the star of this dish. I think we should add a few more wontons onto this dish. Finish with the broth in through here. A little bit of scallion action. Bam! We are done. This is your homemade wonton from Renfrew in Winnipeg.